Coming up on this episode of the Spiro Podcast.
You might just be burnt out right now. You might just need, if this is the first slow day you've had, you might just need to shoot that one house, and then you might need to take your wife out to lunch or dinner. Do something for yourself. It might do you more good to slow down so that your body can catch up. Your brain can catch up.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. It's designed to help you run your day-to-day real estate media business and ultimately, if it's your goal, to help you grow and scale your business as well. I'm Craig Magrum. Welcome to it, host of the podcast. Glad to be here with you each and most every week. And along with me each and every week, our owner and founder of Spiro, co-host of the podcast, Todd Kivimaki. Hello, Todd.
Craig, it's great to be here. Sorry, y'all. I'm jumping right in. So off air, Craig told me, okay. Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
We're just going right for it, right?
I want to bring everybody in because you have me my interest so piqued here. So we start the podcast with just a little introduction to Justine, our fabulous editor. Mm-hmm. And Craig said with this topic, he's like, if you want to do anything that's fun, digital on me, and you'll understand this in a minute, special effects to make our listeners and viewers laugh, feel free to do it. And I said something to the effect of, maybe a face tattoo or something of the like. And Craig said to me,
the face,
well, Todd,
let's give a little context. The face tattoo, not just a random thing. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Somehow, how did that even come up? We started talking about me having a face tattoo like Post Malone.
Yes. I cannot remember what it was like, how we got there, but somehow we were tattooing all kinds of different things on your face.
And yeah, Todd threw out a challenge to listeners and viewers to do their own, photoshopping of my face. I don't know how it starts. So that's why Todd said to Justine, tattoos or a face tattoo. Right. Okay, go ahead.
And then Craig said to me, well, Todd, I have been thinking, and I said, Craig, stop right there. We cannot use this offline because everybody's going to want to know what you're about to say. So you've been considering what, Craig?
I've been toying with the idea of getting a tattoo. It's not the first time in my life. I don't have any tattoos. Back when I was in my 20s, I thought about it. My boss at the time said, Craig, think through that a little bit more. Do you really want a tattoo when you're 80 years old and it's all saggy and, it doesn't look good? And he talked me out of it, right?
Okay.
He talked me out of it. So I haven't thought about it for a long time, except for the fact that, how many years ago was it? I forget, maybe 2018. I took a trip to Egypt. I did a mission trip to Egypt. Okay. We served in what was called El Motammedia. It's the garbage dumps around Cairo where Coptic Christians and the poor Muslims live. They live in these garbage dumps right outside of Cairo. They go into the city, they gather the garbage, they take it back to where they live, sort through it for the recyclables and sell the recyclables. Wow. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. So Christians in Egypt are mostly known as Coptic Christians. It's a particular, denomination of Christianity. And one of the distinctive marks that Coptic Christians have is this little Coptic cross on the inside of their right wrist. Okay. That parents give their kids when they're young, that if they're Christians, just to remind them of their heritage and their faith, right, in Jesus. So I got to serve with Christians in Egypt, and I've thought on and off for the last couple of years, but especially probably the last 4 months, I've thought about maybe getting a Coptic cross on the inside of my right wrist. I've toyed with the idea. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. So yeah, nothing, no big deal. No face tattoos. Not going to happen.
Okay. Well, we'll continue to try at times on the podcast. But I do. I mean, I love the idea of I don't have any tattoos, and I haven't really thought a lot about one, but I love the story behind it, Craig. I mean, I think it resonates and it connects.
I think it's funny. Those of you listening, watching, I'm guessing you're agreeing that you think it's probably funny that the owner of the business is toying with the idea of letting one of his employees get a face tattoo that's outward facing for the guy. Are you sure you want to do that, Todd? No, my
well,
parents.
It all depends on what it is.
Would kill me. I'm almost 50 years old. My parents would still kill me if I did that.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's a bit extreme, but I like the cross on the inside of the wrist there. And how much can a wrist really sag as you get older?
There is that. Really not a valid concern. Okay, so weird way to start the podcast. I hope we might have 2 listeners left now, Todd.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's keep going for those 2.
Right. Okay. Well, before we dive into the topic, which is oddly enough related to what we just talked about, do you have any Spiro updates? What's going on with the software, Todd?
Very quickly, Spiro Sync, y'all are loving it. It is our event in January. We have a date, January 22nd and 23rd. By the way, thank you all for messaging in saying, hey, this sounds great. I want to know more about it. If you haven't messaged me yet and want to know more about it and are interested, this would be January 22nd and 23rd in Dayton, Ohio. So you would fly into Dayton, Ohio. You'll stay there, hotels, probably going to be less than $100 or right at $100. It's going to be a 2-day event where you're going to come and learn, connect with us. You can bring your team as well. So we are excited. This will be our first event. It's something we've wanted to do. We love connecting with you, and we love the community connecting with each other. Craig and I did a podcast long ago about PMRE, the conference in November, and our first trip there and how we took away with the idea of the importance of connecting with your community. So we're going to do an event. There's also a few more ways to connect on top of the Spiro Sync. You can connect at the REPP Conference. That's Eli Jones's conference. That's going to be an incredible event. It's November 5th and 6th, I believe. Check the dates for me. We'll link it below. And then you do have PMRE 2 weeks later. So pick an event, pick one of them, pick all of them. But I think you'll find value in coming and growing and learning. And then when you get there, go talk to people. Come find myself. Come find someone that you know. Talk to someone you don't know. Connect with people. You'll find a ton of value in it.
Absolutely. Maybe we invite a tattoo artist to come and I get my tattoo.
Well, done. Craig, I was going to say, are you going to, why don't we do this tattoo in Vegas this year?
That'd be the place to do it, right?
Yeah, I was trying to have more self-control. I was thinking about that, but so I didn't mention it, but I did.
What would happen in Vegas, though, that wouldn't stay in Vegas? It would come with me.
It would come, yeah. Not a bad thing to bring back from Vegas.
There could be worse things, I suppose. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
I did want to quickly mention before we dive in, just because I'm so excited about this update and this partnership. It's with a company called Titus.
Oh, yeah.
And Titus is a pay at closing company. So your agents will quickly and easily apply, if you choose to use Titus, for financing. And they can pay for their darn photos and video at the close of the property. I think that's just the coolest thing.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate playing in the back of my head. What if the sale doesn't go through? What if that agent loses the listing and they don't renew the contract? What happens?
Yeah, great question. So ultimately, the agent is responsible for making the payment. This is somewhat similar to a firm and some of those other payment systems you see out there that are on your most popular e-commerce websites where you can pay over time. So the agent is responsible for it. Number one, I want to mention that the photographer gets paid immediately regardless. So you all get paid immediately. Number two, if the house does not close, the agent has the ability to move that liability, that charge, to another listing if they have it. Then they could pay for both listings at the close of listing B. If they don't have another listing, ultimately they're going to be, due that money back to Titus. But we have seen, and we've heard from Nick, the founder, and Nick's going to be on here soon.
Yeah.
That average order value is going up substantially. Agents are understanding. They love the flexibility. He's going to give you some incredible stats about agents and finances. And just, I think the thing that I always try to remember is when an agent gets a listing, it doesn't mean they make money. It means they pay out money. That's one of the big things is they get a listing and they have all of these things to pay for. There's a good chance they're going to make money if the house is, appropriately priced and, all of those items, but they have to pay out money, and that's difficult for the majority of them. I didn't realize that, Craig, even top producers. So, and if you all think about it, if you have an admin, if you have a VA and you have W-2 employees, you are going to get paid by jobs they do. And this is a great topic that we need to cover coming up. But what do you do in the down season with your W-2 employees? So I'm excited about Titus. I'll stop there. Just one more hint that I want to give you guys is Titus is also going to have one other really big feature that is, there's a couple of them, but we'll talk about them in a week or two. It's going to save you money on your credit card processing as well. So I love this company. The founder, Nick, is incredible. We will continue to only do business with people that align with us and companies that align with us. And just an incredible guy, so intelligent, and just really understands us as real estate photographers.
Looking forward to that episode. Should be good.
Yes. And awesome. Craig, we're looking at a September 23rd launch of that, a tentative. So mark it down your calendars. We're going to give you all of the materials where you can market out to your agents. We're going to help you sell this, educate your agents on it. There's really nothing to sell. It's kind of a no-brainer if I can, but enough of that. We'll give it all to you in a week or two. We'll help you grow your business through this, and we'll continue to do things like this in Spiro.
It's exciting. Always,
and we will be the first to integrate. So you won't get this anywhere else right now.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Cool. I can't wait for that episode. That should be good.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, welcome back to another week. Those of you returning, new listeners, I know that was an odd way to start a podcast, but go back and listen to some past episodes. You'll get a feel for who Todd is, who I am, what Spiro is. We're pretty laid back. We try not to take ourselves too seriously, and we have fun with what we do. So, but ultimately, we want to help you grow a strong, good, solid real estate media business. And we were brainstorming topic ideas for this episode, Todd. I threw out a couple ideas, and you came back with another one. I'm going to let you set this up.
Yeah, so we are at the middle of August of 2025, and we are coming into a transition of the market. All right. Mm-hmm. So we have these cyclical patterns. And for those of you on YouTube, I'm just showing a graph that shows this kind of sine curve where you start off slow in the winter, you peak in the summer, and you go down back for the fall and winter. And that is happening now. So we've got things like back to school, you've got county fairs, you have other activities where people who might be buying and selling have their attention elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was appropriate because this was very awkward for me throughout many years, this transition, because you go really, really hard. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, I have some of this time. And I hate to say that my first couple of years when I hired on my first key person, and he was the helper that I've referred to. We talked about this in a podcast, or I talked about this in a YouTube video with Eli Jones. If you want to go back and find that, it's on Eli's page. I talked about hiring a helper versus a builder. And this was my helper. And Craig, as I look back, I told this individual, I was like, for the winter, that's where I take time off. And there was literally days, I'm like, there's going to be days where you just don't see me. And I would do that. I would literally not be a part of the business for days at a time in the winter. I'd be inside, I'd be with my family. I'd be doing things around the house. It was kind of awkward because we worked out of my house, so he'd come in to use the bathroom. I'd be sitting on the couch,
Watching TV or something.
Watching TV. Yeah. Like, hey, how's work going? But you know what? I did that intentionally because I needed a break.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it because I just knew that if I didn't get that break, I wouldn't have enough to give when it came time for me to give. But if you are excited about growing your business, and you probably are because you're listening to this, you all are overachievers out there if you're listening to this, else you'd just be watching TV right now. There's this time, and I get this question a lot from you all out there on coaching calls and other events that I do, is like, what do I do? And I think by habit, it might feel natural to go back to some of the tasks that you've delegated. You might check email. You might micromanage VAs or employees. You might go do the laundry, whatever it may be. But I thought this would be a great time to do a day in the life of Craig. So
for the record, I told Todd, are we sure we want to do this? We want to maintain and grow our audience. We don't want to drive you away. Couldn't talk him out of it.
Well, Craig, I'm actually extremely excited about this because I think if you or I really connect to our client, I think you connect to our client, to you listeners out there, being shooting, selling. And I think understanding this transition from busy to slow season is just going to resonate. So I'm excited to go through this today. So Craig, we're just coming off a busy season, right? So give us an idea. What does busy season look like for you?
Well, as you said, I've got the hybrid role. So I'm both doing the photography, videography, drone, agent on camera videos. I get all the fun of the creative side during busy season. My day is full with shoots. A full day for me can be anywhere between like 4 large shoots with multiple services, up to maybe 6 shoots if I have a couple that are like, say, photography only, right? So anywhere between 4 and 6 shoots is a full busy day for me. And pretty much from I would say April through about this time, most every day is full. Just came off of July where, my territory, my market, I think we did 88 shoots. I've been busy, been very busy. So not exactly sure where you might want me to go. Maybe start at the beginning of the day.
Yeah. So a couple of questions. Yeah, so a busy day. So 4 to 6, that is a lot of shoots in a day. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's something, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but I think it helps because it really is an insight in your day. So just walk us through, and it can be briefly, but I know when you and I talked many years ago when you were starting your business, you were doing maybe a handful, 2-3 shoots a day, and you felt capped by that. So
yeah,
is there anything you'd like to give as insight as to how we're able to achieve 6 shoots in a day?
Well, number one, outsource your editing. I mean, when I was only able to do, say, 2 shoots a day, I was doing my own editing. And it very, very quickly dawned on me, there is no way to scale a business or be able to support myself when I was doing this on my own by doing my own editing. Because I could, like I said, I could only do 2 shoots, and then the rest of my day into the evening, I've spent editing to try and get things turned around that very next, that next business day. And even back in 2017, when I first got into it, that's what realtors expected. They expected things the next business day. So number one, outsource your editing immediately. Just don't bother with trying to do your own editing. If it wasn't for our editing team, we wouldn't have a business, right?
And Craig, we have a simple solution for that: auto HDR AI editing. We use it exclusively at WOW. It's integrated into Spiro. Auto HDR, search it, use it. You'll probably need to QC it, look over it. I don't want you to QC it. Find a VA. We are working on a solution for you to just hire a team that we outsource to. But that is kind of a done for you solution.
But number 2, finding a system to handle your invoicing, the scheduling, the sending things out. Originally, when I first started beta testing the Spiro software before it even had a name, I was even with that, I was still doing my own scheduling. I don't Yeah, I was using Google Calendar, and so it made my day kind of clunky. I would shoot, and then the phone would be ringing while I'm trying to shoot or in between shoots. So then I'm checking my calendar, my emails in between shoots, and trying to finagle scheduling. And I managed. I grew the business, but boy, it took a lot of time and a lot of energy to do that. Um, so outsourcing or bringing on team members to help you with all of those administrative tasks is huge. And it's to the point now where I'm part of the WOW team, WOW Video Tours, and I can just concentrate on two things: shooting and business development. Um, where do you want to go from there? Did that answer
Yeah.
that first question?
So how much, no, that's fabulous. Thank you for that. So in a day of 6, seems like a lot of shooting. How much business development is in that, Craig?
During busy season, not a ton. Um, I'm still taking some phone calls. If I'm on a shoot, I let it go to voicemail. I do check that voicemail then in between my shoots, and if it's something I have to respond to right away, I take care of that. If it's something I can respond to when I get home back to my home office, before I start uploading for the evening, uh, then I'll take care of it then. Um, Same thing with emails, responding to emails. I still do check in between shoots so that I can be timely in my response. And that's huge. Realtors are often on short deadlines. And so I want to respect that and make myself valuable to them. So being sure to respond quickly for me is an important thing.
Yeah. With that responding, Craig, uh, is there, I'm sure there's times that you handle things, but are there any other times that you might quickly forward something to a team member back at the
Yeah.
office?
Yeah. The number one thing is scheduling. Because so many of my early clients who are now WOW clients got used to me doing all the scheduling. Even now, after doing this, I think now I've been shooting for 2 years for WOW. I still every once in a while get a client that will call and want to schedule with me, and I'm like, I tell you what, I'm actually on a shoot right now. I'm going to have you do one of two things: either call our scheduling team, they're there until 5 o'clock, and I give them the phone number. And I said, they'll take great care of you. They'll ask you all the right questions and make sure that you get set up the way you need to. Or you can do it online 24/7. It's super easy to schedule online. I give them the website. Unless I'm sitting here in my home office, and have the time, I might schedule it then, just since I'm on the phone with them and I can do it. But out in the field, I'm not going to mess with it on my phone. Our scheduling team takes care of that. That's the number one thing.
Yeah. And I love that you're still able to, that is in a way sales. That's part of the business
Yeah.
development role that we do. It's just you've removed yourself from that column
Mm-hmm.
and you're staying in a higher column. We've talked about, if you're like Todd, what are you talking about? It's a time tracking. Um, those are some verbals we use with time tracking, but Craig has moved himself up to a more valuable column, and he lets another team member help with a task that needs to be done, which is scheduling,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just more focused on what's more important to him.
What I often will do too when they do call to schedule, I will ask about the listing. Give me some key features of it. What services are you looking for? I might find out it's a vacant. I might talk to them about virtual staging. So even in that scheduling call, I am trying to upsell if there's a benefit to them for that.
Love that.
And then I'll Slack the scheduling team and I'll give them just a quick, brief summary of the conversation and just say, be expecting their call, or would you please call them to get this scheduled? And here's what we talked about, just to make sure that we're on the same page on services that we talked about.
Yeah, that's great. And one thing that we're excited about, Craig, is now that our scheduling team is inside of our CRM, those call transcriptions will be inside of the CRM. So hopefully that will even save you a little bit of information passing from you to scheduling. So scheduling, you could just bump scheduling and say, hey, just talk to so-and-so client. All the info's in there. They could read the AI summary or listen to the call. And then you can even more minimize your time to focus on the things that you need to focus on.
Okay. Full transparency, Todd. I forget about some of these newer tools because I'm so used to doing things a certain way that, AI summary, you know, That's going to be you too. You listening, as these new tools and efficiencies come into play in our industry, it's going to take some getting used to, especially if you've done it the same way for a long time. I'm not opposed to new methods. It's hard to break old habits, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it will make you more efficient.
It will, and I think those are all those habits are good things because they're called what I call like a capture device. When you're out and busy, like what's going to trigger you to remind yourself to follow up with someone. Sometimes like I take photos of things and then I'll look at my photos if I need to check something, or I'll send myself an email or record a voice memo. But those are capture devices, and then it is really cool how technology can streamline that. We're not specifically talking about our flow with the CRM and scheduling support today, but those are some things that as you grow, we just took a big step up to put everybody into it at WOW. And it's breaking down what we refer to as silos of communication. So we'll do some podcasts on it coming up. If you're at that point already where you have many divisions and you have those silos and you like to know what we do, shoot me a call. I'll be happy to, or shoot me an email, excuse me. I'll be happy to have a call, give you some insight on it. But we will be giving you guys more information on that and talking about our flows. But those are all things that continue to keep you in your column where you're most efficient. Craig, are there any other little things? I know you talked about scheduling, but anything else that you would not hesitate that you send to the team member that can take care of that client?
Off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of a whole lot. Scheduling is pretty much the
big one. Let me ask a little bit different of a question, Craig.
Sure.
Do you get requests from agents about changes or fixes with media?
That's a good question. Not a ton.
Okay.
We usually are setting expectations before the shoot. Yeah, there's not a lot of changes. We try to make sure that we do things right ahead of time, and before we get photos back or deliver those. But if I know I've shot something that there's something slightly wrong, or like say I catch my reflection in a black refrigerator or something that I just didn't see when I took the picture. I'll let the support team know, and they take care of that editing. I'm not editing anything myself, but I try to keep my eyes open for those things. But
yeah, no. Well, I think what's happening here, Craig, is actually we have proper channels of communications to our clients, and I'm realizing that this is working well just in real time talking through this with you today, because we do have complaints that come in and requests for adjustments. Why it doesn't get sent to you is because all of the delivery emails come from a specific inbox that's not your inbox.
Right.
And you have done enough expectation setting to let your clients know that we have a team that can assist them. So, and I'm sure over the years, a client has called you randomly here and there, and you have probably said, hey, I actually have someone that can help you better than me. So my suggestion there is if you are still on that inbox where clients are going to click reply to a delivery email, I would say get yourself out of that inbox and put it into a shared inbox with your team. Because we have team members that do that, and they do it very instantly and they do it very quickly. We've learned that from the time a client requests something to the time we clone something out very quickly and easily in a photo and get that back to them, that is very critical, that time right there. And getting back to them quickly means that you are still in the process of whatever task they're doing. Say uploading photos to MLS. They want to get that done because, again, just like you, they don't make money by uploading photos to the MLS. They have to do it. You don't make money by QCing images. It just has to be done. So the quicker we can get them through that process, the better.
I will say, since you mentioned them replying to, like, say, the support email or whatever email is delivering, they will still reach out to me because they might not pay attention. They're so used to the relationship with me that they might say, hey, Craig, there's something in the yard. Can you edit that out? And I'll reply to them and I'll CC support and say, certainly our support team can take care of this. In the future, if you ever have any editing requests, things like that, please feel free to go ahead and just email support directly. That'll save a step in the process and get you quicker results. So it's providing education and helping the realtor understand, hey, add this address to your contact, in your phone or whatever. And it just takes some training, some education.
Yeah, a quick example from my end, because I actually got one of those emails yesterday, Craig. I don't get
Did
a
you
lot
really?
I really did. I don't get a lot of emails from our clients at WOW. I happened to get one from a very large client at our largest brokerage deal. And this client also CC'd the managing broker. Okay, so the broker in charge. And it wasn't a complaint, it was just a need for some files, some old files. And it came in, and Evan on our team responded and gave everything that was needed before I even saw the email. And I think the point is while I have that connection with that very large agent and I have the connection with the broker in charge, we've said it enough at WOW that ultimately the agent knew to CC or address our support team. And then I just let the wheels turn. I saw it pop up. I saw the name. I'm like, I'm not focused on it right now. Evan got it within a matter of minutes. And you have to do that. One quick point I want to make is if you respond instantly, you have just set expectations that client, that broker, that person needs to always email you.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't take the success, or don't take the opportunity for success for your team away from them. Evan did. Yeah, don't take it, because let them succeed. And then I praised Evan. I gave him a shout out at morning meeting this morning. I'm like, hey, Evan, I don't know if you knew it, but this was the broker in charge at our largest company. Thank you so much for getting back to them so quickly. The agent, the broker in charge, both responded super happy, super appreciative. And I didn't have to do anything, y'all.
Yeah, Todd, that's a great insight. And conversely, if an owner jumps in too early and takes that opportunity for a win for one of your employees away, you're going to kill morale on your team, because your team, if you've hired the right people, they really want to see the company succeed and to see you succeed, and they want to feel empowered to be able to do their job and know that you as the owner trust them. If they don't think that you trust them, they're going to be on pins and needles all the time.
They will. Yeah, I hate that I've had to raise my hand for doing that over the years.
I did it in a general manager role that I had earlier. I learned.
Yeah.
So,
and I learned when you do that, the best thing to do is when you recognize it is to go and let that employee, and apologize, let them know. And,
I just saw a video clip yesterday, Todd, of a guy talking about leadership. He said, I will follow a leader to the end of the earth through a brick wall if they do at least one of these top three things: apologize, ask for input, and admit that they don't know something. If they do any of those three, I'll follow them.
That is that is so countercultural, Craig, because I would say that the culture of the world in 2025 would tell you that all three of those things would show you to be a weak leader. Great insight there. Okay, Craig, let's transition here. Thank you for the insight. That is incredible. I'm sure there's a ton of questions around some of those flows, and those are flows that we've tried to perfect over the last 20 some years at WOW. Again, if you have questions, we love to take them. hello@spiro.media. Shoot them over so we know what you are wanting to know. But let's transition here, Craig, into the coming down of busy season where we're at right now. So what does your day begin to look like when there's not 6 shoots on the day?
Great question. I had that kind of day yesterday. For the first time in months, Todd, I had 1 shoot yesterday.
Okay.
Like, whoa. Yeah. This shouldn't be a surprise to me. I've been doing this enough years now. I know the cycle. I know mid-August it's gonna, kids are getting back into school, like you said at the beginning of the podcast. Last minute vacations are happening, county fairs. Right now, I live in Bowling Green, Ohio, and Bowling Green, Ohio is known for hosting the National Tractor Pulling Championships for the entire country, for the entire United States.
Serious stuff.
I live right next door to the Wood County Fairgrounds, and I hear those tractors pulling all day into the evening, sometimes at 2:00 in the morning if they've been rained out. Yeah. So, there's a lot of people, just a lot's happening right now. So my appointments have suddenly dropped this week compared to, so I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit around and watch TV? No, I'm not. So watching that, it was a Thursday, watching that day come up on my calendar and not seeing any more shoots coming up, I started shifting my thinking back to business development. And okay, have I caught up with my VIPs? Have I touched base with teams that I haven't had a chance to talk to? I'm shooting for them, but I just haven't been able to talk to them. Do I have any new clients that I need to call and reach out with and set, first order expectations or follow up on a shoot that I did in the last 2-3 weeks, check back in with them, see how their experience was. So I started thinking through all these business development things, and I picked up the phone, started making some calls yesterday that I haven't been able to get to because I've been so busy. Sent out some emails. I set up a potential new client coffee. I've talked a lot about my coffee meetings because I had found this new realtor at a brokerage that we do a lot of business with, and reached out, introduced myself and, the relationship that we have, and asked her if I could, treat to coffee and get to know her new real estate business and introduce Wow Video Tours a little bit more, mention that we're the preferred vendor, but I know you have choices. So I'd love to tell you a little bit more about Wow. And she responded, I think, within about 5 minutes and said, yeah, I'd love to. I'm new to town. I'm from Colorado. So I don't know a ton of people. And I got a coffee meeting right away. I haven't done a coffee meeting in a while because I've been too busy to shooting. So I've done this long enough. I know the activities that work for me for business development and what I need to get back to when I have that extra time. I can't sit still when I have a free shoot day, because I know I need to keep my funnel full. If I've been busy shooting for the last, say 4 or 5 months, and I've not had the opportunity to maintain relationships, I've got to get back to that as soon as possible, because my personal philosophy is I don't want to take any of these relationships that I've worked very hard to build for granted.
Wow.
I want them to know, hey, yes, I haven't talked with you a whole lot, but it's because I've been so busy with the shooting. But I want you to know I appreciate you. I might be sending out thank yous. I've got a whole kind of arsenal of things that I like to do when it's slower to reestablish the relationship and make sure that I'm taking good care of my clients in my market.
Craig, so many questions around that. I think I have one that will unpack here and then probably begin to end, because I have a ton of questions. I'm sure all of you do about this arsenal that Craig has to keep the funnel full. But maybe just one, let's go very practical.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, you had realized that this Thursday with one shoot was coming up. Subconsciously, probably some things are coming back to the top of your mind. From a practical standpoint, what did you do? Like, that time finally hit where you had time and you haven't had it forever. Like, from where did you go? What did you look like? Where did you start? Was it in your memory? Was it in a CRM? Just give us, if someone out there is saying, hey, I'm sitting around today listening to this, that sounds great, Craig. You've mentioned some fabulous things. VIPs. Okay, I don't know if I have VIPs. New clients. I don't know of these things. We don't have broker deals. Where did you start yesterday? Where could our listeners start at today from a practical standpoint?
Right. So you mentioned the CRM. We have a CRM, a program that helps us maintain and keep track of all of our business activities, sales outreaches, things like that. So earlier this week, as things would pop into my mind, I would go into that and just create a to-do item. basically, so that when Thursday came, I had a list to work off of and I could stay focused during the day and make those phone calls, send those emails, set up the coffee meeting, whatever it was. Now, some of those things obviously aren't necessarily time dependent. I didn't have to do it yesterday. If I didn't get it to it yesterday, and I think there was one or two, the next slower day I have, I can knock that out. It's on my list so that I'm not forgetting about it, because I can't remember everything that comes to mind. I might be brushing my teeth, getting ready for the day, and I need to call so and so. Well, I only need to remember long enough to get down to the computer and put that, or actually I have the app on the phone where I can add that to-do item to the CRM. So that's kind of my practical thing. And honestly, I took, I think, an hour break besides lunch of not making calls. And when busy season happens, my office gets a little less organized. let me put it that way, right?
I like that.
So I took the opportunity to file some things away, to clean up my workspace, because for me mentally, I feel better when my workspace is organized and clean and not cluttered. It allows me to, I don't even know how to describe it. I feel better and I feel more focused. So I spent a little time organizing and cleaning yesterday too.
Yeah, I think that's great insight. And when you take that downtime, you all shouldn't feel bad about it.
Right.
There's way too many days that I like to admit that I sit here where I'm at today for the entire 8 or 9 hours, 7, 9 hours that I'm at the office, to the point that it's like I'm running to the bathroom and back because I'm on my next call. And this is just me kind of confessing out loud. Like we're all still trying to figure this out too. But when you take that downtime, see that as valuable, that you're going to have some margin in your brain, in your life, to actually focus on the important things. You might just be burnt out right now. You might just need, if this is the first slow day you've had, you might just need to shoot that one house, and then you might need to take your wife out to lunch or dinner. Do something for yourself. It might do you more good to slow down so that your body can catch up. Your brain can catch up. So that would be my tip. If you feel like you're caught up and you want to make those first practical steps, and say you don't have the CRM like Craig mentioned, and if you don't have a CRM, we have a solution coming up for you very soon with Spiro. But if you don't have a CRM, what I would suggest you do, and if you're like, I didn't keep the list of people I need to contact, when you're at your desk or working space, quiet space, disconnect from the world, turn your phone off, go back and search through your emails. Who in there do you need to respond to? Don't respond to them right now. Just write their name down or flag the email. Okay, go through those emails. How much money is sitting in there that you need to respond to? So look back through your calendar and look at those meetings that you did. There's probably someone there you should follow up with. Again, don't follow up with them right now. Just make a list for today and the coming days where you have this time to focus on client acquisition. Then go back through, you have to turn your phone back on. Go back through your past calls. Scroll through the calls. Did you have a missed call? Do you have a missed voicemail? Okay. If you do, write that name down. Then finally, if you have any other capture devices, for me, it's the images on my phone. I sometimes take pictures of something that needs to be done. Go through the other capture devices that you do and make your list. That essentially is all the CRM is, y'all. So don't feel intimidated by this idea that you have to have a CRM. Just create that list, get it out of your brain. That's going to free up some margin. Yeah. From there, then you're just going to cross them off one by one, ideally in time blocks where it's dedicated for that list. And then you're going to go clean your office or spend time with your family or think about your next big idea.
Go take a walk in the woods.
Craig, we had a friend. My wife was with a friend this week, and she used the phrase nature bathing. And so if y'all don't know, like, my wife is very on the health conscious, natural, organic side, like big about nature, like grounding and all these things, like alignment with body. And long story short, anyway, she used this term. I was like, what? I've never heard of nature bathing. And she's like, I thought you would have heard about nature bathing. Long story short, I mean, it's nothing weird other than the fact that, like, sometimes we need to disconnect from technology and we just need to be out in nature, like sitting in nature, listening to the birds, appreciating the beauty of the trees, the flowers. So sometimes you just need to turn everything off and you need to stop scrolling on a device, let your eyes rest, and go out and just let your other senses work out in nature.
You know, I'll admit, Todd, I was tempted to do that yesterday, but my default is you've mentioned it. I feel guilty doing that during the work week, so I never do that. And there's been times in my past where I've been so overwhelmed or so stressed out by something that it's like I start to break down and I have to get away. And when I take that walk in the woods or sit by that stream, it's like,
mm-hmm.
And but don't wait to that point of almost breakdown to do that. Again, build some time into your schedule to do that, maybe once a week or once every other week or something, just to get a regular cadence. I love walking barefoot out in the grass. There is something to grounding.
I agree.
I don't know all the science, but I feel better when my feet are on some soft green grass. It just feels better. Yeah.
Craig, I got a chat. Okay, Craig, we're going to wrap with this. A challenge. This is for me and you. How many shoots do you have today, by the way, Craig?
I've only got 2 today.
Okay, we're going to do some nature bathing. All right. So you and I and all of you listeners out there, take 10 minutes, and it's going to feel awkward. At least try 10 minutes somewhere out in nature. Take your shoes and your socks off. Okay. Sit, listen, lay down, get comfortable, and just take in the beauty and everything that's around you. All right. Craig, I'll take a selfie. You take a selfie. I want to see your feet. I want to see your bare feet in it. So if you do it, take the selfie, post it on our Spiro super user group or Spiro Facebook page, post it somewhere and tag Spiro, tag nature bathing, hashtag nature bathing. And let's see if we can get some people some time to really just let their brain go free.
You know, I was thinking before this podcast, you gave me a challenge months ago that admittedly I have not moved on, and I'm publicly apologizing to my boss here, folks. He told me he wanted me to record myself day in the life of basically out in the field, and I've not done it. I'd rather be behind the camera than in front of. Well, this is different. Anyway, so maybe that will be the kickoff for that. What you told me needed to be done, and I'll take my shoes and socks.
Yeah, good. We're baby stepping. Y'all give Craig some love down in the comments below. I don't ask for it, but give Craig some love down in the comments below. I think if he really knew how helpful he was and how insightful he was, he's hard on himself and he is incredible. I know you all love him, as do I. But Craig, we're excited to see your bare feet today and your nature bathing photo.
You might see a brisket injury on the back of my ankle. There's a story behind that one. Maybe I'll share that next week.
I love that, Craig. Let's do it next. What a great hook.
Okay. All right. This is getting weird. We're getting close to an hour in here. How about we wrap things up?
When things get weird, it's our sign. We just wrap.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's time to go. So anyway, transition from busy seasons into slow season. Day in the life of shooting, business development. I hope you got some good tips and ideas, maybe to try something new. And I'm thankful for the work I get to do. I really do love what I do. So hope you found some value in that. Todd, thank you.
Thank you, Craig, for sharing.
Too weird. All right. Well, guys, that's going to wrap things up. Before Todd asks any more weird questions of me, I'm just going to, we're going to Put a bow on
I'll
that.
just stay on mute here.
But make sure when you're doing that nature bathing, take some time to be thankful for the blessings in your life. And like we say, take a breath. You guys have a great week. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.